video. Walt Disney Audio Animatronic breaks down on debut day at Disneyland. Well, the opening of Disneyland didn't go smoothly 7 years ago, and neither has the opening day for the all-new Walt Disney Audio Animatronic. The show, Walt Disney A Magical Life, has been interrupted multiple times per day during its debut day. A new video posted on Instagram shows the Walt Disney Audio Animatronic breaking down as it attempts to walk forward. In the video below, you can see the controversial Walt Disney Audio Animatronic breakdown after standing up from leaning on his desk. As Walt goes to take a step forward, the movement comes to a jarring halt, with the entire audio animatronic figure oscillating a bit from the sudden stop. The show lighting is dimmed immediately. Along with the audio, Walt's mouth continues to move as a groan can be heard from the audience. As the curtain closes on Walt, cast members began to issue instructions for guests to leave the theater. And yes, we have the video. Here we go. Let's go ahead and play this right now. I got to play this with audio because well, it has to be really heard to really take in the full effect. Here we go. Yeah, that didn't sound very good. Well, we have another angle on it. Let's go ahead and view that. All right.
He's the smart Disney.
Hello, everyone. So sorry for the interruption.
Yep, didn't work out, unfortunately. We'll go ahead and play it again here from this angle because you can kind of see him really oscillate from the side here.
All right, folks.
Hello,
Good morning. We do apologize for your heavy technical difficulties right now.
There's your new Imagineering. Congratulations.
Just a zinger right from Erika, right from jump. Fantastic right there. Oh, come on. It's just, it's so predictable.
Look at Nolan's face.
Nolan's just like, what is going on? Nolan, your thoughts, please, sir. Let loose.
My bar is already so low and how incompetent people can be. But my God, man. Like, okay. So that sound that he makes right when he's getting up, it makes that snapping sound. I know there's a tech reason that does it. I'm sure Culture Casino, if he was here right now, he can enlighten us of how it works and make me feel really dumb and show us the way animatronics work. However, I am not a robot expert here, but when I hear that sound, the first thing I think of as a gamer is Five Nights at Freddy's, the creepy animatronics, the sounds that make when they're trying to like jump scare you. And it literally kills all momentum and it is creepy. And we have been talking about this project for months, ever since they announced it. Like, was this morally right or wrong? But we were right off the heels of Tiana's Bayou Adventure, just a little bit, down the street, having all these malfunctioning stuff. I was there in person when I rode that coaster. It was the Florida version of the ride. But I remember seeing Mama Odie, and her jaw was like this, and she was talking like, "Hey guys, thanks for coming to Tiana's Bayou Adventure," and it was really unsettling. They literally have the poster boy of the company, the creator, right here. This is the #1 animatronic you cannot have go wrong, which is probably part of the reason they should have even done this in the first place. The ship has sailed on that. They've done it, and yet after all the delays, it breaks like this on opening day in an unsettling, creepy way. Do you want your 3 or 4-year-old seeing this man just start breaking like it's a scene out of Megan or something? They should have done everything they could to prevent this, and yet they let this happen. I'm sorry. I know rides break. People freak out way too much when coasters break down. It's a part of how this stuff works. But opening day with Walt Disney himself, that is a capital A failure on their part. And I am sorry for everyone who had to experience that. I'm not going to act like everything goes right in life, but this is everything wrong that you didn't want to have happen, and they should have prepped for, and it happened.
I'm noticing a pattern. Well, I mean, we probably have already said this at some point, where there's such a rush to put these projects out and on stage, and you guys aren't ironing out all the kinks. And I mean, I get Universal isn't perfect. There's complaints with Epic Universe, but not to this level that Disney has been bringing it for a while.
Yeah.
And Universal, you can extend some grace to Universal because it doesn't matter who opens up, what entity opens up a new park. You can always expect, kinks to be ironed out. But this, y'all knew better. You just didn't care.
Well, before we go to Ron here, because I know he has some thoughts, and maybe he has a little figment as well that he's been hiding away there. I want to go ahead and play that little snap again right there and see if we can suss out what that is. Somebody was saying it might be a connecting rod to a servo. I do believe that is the case. Let's see what happens here.
He's the smart Disney.
There is an audible alarm back there as well. Just show ready. Go ahead, Ron.
That happens to me all the time. It's since his back went out. That's get up and oh god, that was.
I was gonna say something similar.
Yeah, I was like,
that's what I was right. It sounds like
no, you're not seeing what you think, everybody. It's just a figment of your imagination. Pay no attention to that man in front of the curtain. I'm sorry. Okay, so first of all, creating the Disney animatronic was offensive. The Disney family said, "Don't do it." Disney himself never wanted it. I want to say that doing it and the face that they put on it looks like, I don't know, Mr. Whipple or the Mr. Pillow guy, the My Pillow guy, or whoever else doesn't look like Walt. It's there. I don't think there could be a bigger offense against the creator of your company. The man who you have to thank for everything good in your life, if your leadership in this company, is Walt Disney. And you did the biggest dishonor, the biggest offense possible to him. I would say that this is arguably a bigger offense than the removal of Rivers of America, although they're very much on par, because you are not honoring Walt Disney, which is what I guess that maybe they thought they were doing by doing this. You're not honoring him. You're dishonoring him. This is incredibly offensive. And then to have it on top of that not work is the very reason he never wanted one in the first place, because he knew that they can fail. He knew that he never wanted a child to see a version of him break. Like that, you don't want to see it. So we have lots of archival footage, tons of archival footage of Walt. There's lots of ways to do a show, even if you wanted to create, and I think they could do this. With our digital technology that we have today, there could have created some type of a holographic show with the archival footage that was the actual footage. Using digital technology and mapping and different things, there's a lot that you could do. An animatronic was definitely the furthest thing from what they should have done to honor Walt. It's dishonoring, it's offensive, it's disgusting, it's obviously breaking down. And I think maybe that's Walt's way of saying, hey, Disney, guess what? Hey, Iger, one of the words might rhyme with luck. That's all I'm saying. This is beyond the pale. It really is beyond the pale.
To your point, Ron, I think there's a great point here where you're talking about like holographic technology. Disney as a company, they're really good at, putting on these facades and stuff, like making it look like they're doing good things, and then they're just doing the worst type of things. They could have gotten around the family's rage and being like, well, we won't do an animatronic, but we'll do a holographic show that's to scale and like a projector screen of him. Or, we're going to use AI to like clone his voice to say things that he'd never have said, because Walt would never have gotten a chance to even see this technology in the first place. People who have passed on don't have a chance to say like, oh, I'm against like my likeness being AI or whatever. And then the family doesn't really have as much of a point as what they could initially made. We all have morality here, so we get that. But companies like to sneak like in crevices where they can. Yet they literally took the most basic thing that he would have already been opposed to with an animatronic and they did it anyways. They took the lazy avenue. They didn't even try to work around like, hey, we're not doing this, but we're doing this. They literally took the lazy Imagineering route. It's like, well, what can we do for the big 70th? I don't know, make a Walt animatronic. And they didn't even try. They literally don't care if this offends them. They did it anyway. Animatronic, do you realize how old this technology is? And yet they want to be like, well, we're Disney. We got to do a robot of some sort. You could have found other ways to do it and do it better.
Epcot, when the park opened, could not be what Walt wanted it to be, which was a city. So they did the best that they could with what they had, and it was innovative. And as a child, as a teen, when I walked into Epcot, I saw the future, and a hopeful one at that. And now when you walk into Epcot, you see a college campus quad, and it's not hopeful, and it's drab, and it's sad, and it's not, and it's even more sad that they have Walt the Dreamer statue looking over that. That's bad enough, and then to do this is even far worse.
Yeah, I was going to say Disney at Walt was, I would describe him as a humble man. He didn't want so much attention on him when it came to the company. It seemed like he really wanted to default the success of the company to everyone that was under him and Mickey Mouse. And I would say that's a really good characteristic of someone like him, to, you know, not want statues of himself and robots, etc. in the parks. It's like, no, it was started by a mouse. Let's focus on Mickey. He's the star of the show, not me. It's just sad that Iger can't embody that, you know, because the fact of the matter is, and even Walt knew this, he was no one at the very baseline here. He knew he was nothing without the old 9 men.
Yeah, 9 men.
You know, and I think he was just overtly grateful because he had experienced so much disloyalty and distrust. And he knew where to apply the gratitude. And it's sad, Iger, he just doesn't seem to have that. And it shows. I mean, it is, wow. It really shows.
You do not want kids watching Walt Disney break down. And it is, like I said, there's nothing more offensive than this. Although, to be fair, I would like to see a Bob Iger animatronic breakdown. So that would be, I would laugh at that.
Oh, sure. And Nolan talked about a holographic version and so forth and all that. They did do that actually for the traveling roadshow experience that they had for the Disneyland 100, not Disneyland, but Disney 100th anniversary of the company. It originated in Philadelphia and then traveled across the country right there. And as part of that, they actually had a AI version of Walt there. And I think that was the indicator for a lot of people that, oh, okay, if we're recreating Walt in this way, how long until we get an animatronic? Well, I guess 2 years is how long it was. I want to go ahead and put a couple more things on screen for you. We have been covering how Disney's own family and family members actually weeped, not like good weep, like, you know, they saw dad again, or grandpa, or whoever. It was more about why did you recreate, you know, our family member in this way? That's not good. And Eddie Sato was actually there on the 70th anniversary with Tom K. Morris right there, and he actually saw Walt in person. I thought his comments were very interesting. Saw this show twice, sat closer and farther. Overall, it's very good. Exhibits nice, film great. I enjoyed it in total. The face needs to be fixed. Audio is a bit processed, animation well done, but more than anything, I thought this speech content, considering all the great things that he said, fun to do the impossible, etc., could have been more inspiring, leading to a stronger ending. I was always conscious it was an audio animatronic. That said, both audiences loved it. The film is great. Lead in, and the figure is just a part of a bigger story. Unfortunately, the figure is kind of why you're there. So I think they need to get that right. But even Eddie Sato, the face just, you know, isn't all that great. And now,
I don't get what he means here, where he's saying like the speech could have been better. What, he wasn't moved by that bee comment Walt was saying earlier? Like he's Amber Heard or something?
Yeah, I'm like a bee that goes around and pollinates. I always, you know, I thought that quote was pretty cute, and in the context of actually telling relaying what he did at that point in his life to a child. Okay, kind of a cute story right there. But I wouldn't make it his signature speech as part of this presentation. And now, well, he's going to have a hard time moving. I wouldn't be surprised, by the way. I'm going to put this on record right here. I wouldn't be surprised that in the future, he just starts out standing in place. I bet you that's going to be a problem right there. That the technicians at Disneyland aren't going to want to encounter many more times in the future.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.